They talking all of this madness, talking all of this madness, talking all of this madness. They talking all of this madness, talking all of this madness, talking all of this madness. They talking all of this madness.
What's up, everybody? You were listening to the Matt Madness Network. I'm your host for tonight, Alo and Lloyd. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. I'm joined by my guy, Dirty Dominic, X2 Flyer, Eric Trembicki. How you doing, babe?
Living.
All right, so took a couple weeks off, so let's run down what's been going on. Let's run down what's been going on. So the tush push didn't get banned. Just look at that. You got fans trying to kiss Paige at times. We got Mercedes Trump. We got Mercedes. Well, congrats Mercedes on winning the Owen Hart Cup. But we got Mercedes charging $999 for automated text. Like that. Dom living his best life. Salute to Dom. Salute to Dom. And of course, Puff is still nasty. So, make sure if you guys haven't, 1 week we were not here. I did do a reaction to the Eagles 2025 season schedule, so please make sure to check that. Make sure to also turn on your post notifications, subscribe, and comment to this YouTube channel, and make sure to head over to Ringside Collectibles. Use code MMAD, save 10% off your order. So, Bestie, what have you been up to?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Drinking a lot of water. Today's day 23 of a never-before-seen 30-day alcohol cleanse. So 1 week away from this ending and making my grand return to the bottle and some Modelo's, which Modelo actually called me last week and said, "Where have you been?"
I wish I knew about this at day one, because I've enjoyed this week journey I've been with you every morning. Every morning, I put thought into what I send you in the morning.
I kind of just, due to the last week of text messages from you, I wish I did cue you in. I didn't want to tell no one about it, and there was a few close people to me that I lied to them and said, "Hey, I'm going for 2 weeks," knowing my goal was 30, just so if I made it to day 15. Did pretty good. I beat the goal to them by 1 day. But, after I got past day 10 and then realizing I thought I'd done 12 before, and I realized I've never done past 10, once I got to the 2 week mark, it was a lot easier. But then, then past 21, when I hit 21, I was like, man, got to really just keep the gas on, keep the pedal to the gas, because I was ready to break. But so last stretch home.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you did let me know, because I'm all about drinking water and seltzers, and it popped me to see you drink a seltzer. I did enjoy that.
Mother's Day, which I've already my new favorite seltzer is the lime flavored Spindrift, and believe me, I've tried a litany of different ones. But Mother's Day, I was drinking a couple bottles of water, but then I switched to the Spindrift. And while my brother was there and had a 12-pack of Hogan's Great American Lager, or a Pilsner, whatever it is called, he's like, "Damn, bro, you're killing those Spindrifts." I was like, "Yeah, well, it's not really what I want, but." So every cheers and every time we cracked the beer the rest of the day. To Eric.
Oh, that sounds like your brothers. All right. But salute to you. And I'm glad you're on this journey. Thank you. In the last couple of weeks, have you watched anything?
Pretty much everything with the regular product. I mean, I did not watch Double or Nothing. And actually, shout out to Hangman Adam Page, the one who won the men's Owen Hart Classic tournament, which was not what I expected. It was funny. I said to Kelly, my girlfriend Kelly, at the end of the show, I was like, this is going to be really childish. But if I knew the result of this match, I might have paid the money and ended up ordering it. I did anticipate Will Ospreay, who, as talented as the guy is, I don't know, he just does not move the needle to me. I can't really get, all the way behind him. And Hangman Page, have been a day one fan of him. We had a beer with him at All In, the original All In 2018 in Chicago. I just, he's our guy, always has been. Especially earlier this year when he finally, went back with a very natural face turn. I'm here for it. I think he's the right guy to beat Mox and bring the title back to the good side.
Yeah, so for me, I haven't watched a bunch. The only thing I really watched was the list and the matches on my list, so I could actually give a lot of better insight, because like I said, like I take my list very seriously and I want people to go back and watch them. So I did rewatch the matches on my list. And the one thing I did watch last night was NXT. So we all know Ricky Saints lost his North American Championship to
quick pause. So I started that late. I was watching the Phillies game, and then it ended. And I think when I turned it on, there was, I guess, the late. So what did that match open the show?
It opened the show.
Actually, I would need to go back and rewatch this whole show for a litany of reasons. We'll get to it. But I turned the TV on, and Ethan Page is in the ring in a suit with the belt. And I'm like, I thought he was challenging for it tonight.
Yeah, it was the opener. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like that obviously was confusing to me, and I'm like, what the hell did I miss? Did they like air 2 episodes? And then just to jump ahead, I mean, I'm watching the beginning of the main event, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. You know, we got Santana out here, got that promo, got Stephanie Vicaire. This is all right, cool. Watching a couple minutes of it, I was beat. I was exhausted yesterday. I was like, all right, I'm on to bed. I went upstairs, put something else on. And then in the morning when I woke up and I turned on the Instagram app and I'm seeing the ending of the match, and, congratulations to Jacey Jayne winning the NXT Women's title, but completely surprised. Definitely last night was a great tell of, you got to watch the full episode of NXT because you really don't know what the hell is going to happen.
Yeah, so we're going to get right to that right now, because you know where the hell I was going. Jacey Jayne, she won the NXT Women's Championship. Because, like, when it comes to Jacey Jayne, I was a big fan from the jump, and we talked about this, like, for example, when Toxic Attraction split up, we talked about, like, where would they go and what was going to happen with them. So, for example, when they made the group together, when we knew Mandy from the main roster, we knew who Gigi was because she was Priscilla Kelly, previously married to Darby Allin, so we were familiar with those two. Then you throw Jacey Jayne into there, we're like, who the hell is she, or whatever. And since she broke up from Toxic Attraction, she's been great, and she kind of suffers from the "you're too good for your own doing." Like for example, she like falls into the character of like Dolph Ziggler, Kevin Owens. Like you're way too good, and you could basically do a little bit of everything. And it's like, look, you're going to be a prominent role on TV, but you might not get the same opportunities that everybody else does. You might not get the championships recognition that everybody else does. But Jacey Jayne has been a constant on NXT for the last 4 years, and I'm so happy she has got her just due. I legit popped when she won the title. I was that ecstatic. I couldn't believe it.
From Mike Rome to the commentary to the crowd to your reaction. Again, me seeing it like the next day, I was like, what the hell? Like, and it's pretty cool to, Sunday, like, damn, I wish I bought Double or Nothing because of a result of a match. Then, like, you move forward. I don't want to say Raw was bad or nothing, but it was, it's must see. I did watch the 2.5 hours of it, but then here comes Tuesday's night's product, and I'm like, I turn it on, I'm like, damn, I should have started this at 8. I missed the title change. And I was like, all right, well, Stephanie's obviously going over. I don't got to finish it. And I wake up the next morning like, what the hell? All right, cool. Now I know Tuesdays I got to watch this. If it's not live, I got to watch it in bed or in the morning right after.
Yeah, so the thing because also, like, Jacey Jayne, like I said, like, she does everything. Like, even she had an Impact stint for like the last 2 months. Or I'll just say about a month to 2 months. She was at Impact almost every week. She had a few with Rosemary.
Her work with Chase U was cool too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she could do everything. She can cut a promo. She's good in the ring. I think all 3 Toxic Attraction members, I always thought she was the best in the ring, and her mic works out better. She could basically do pretty much everything, especially with that Impact stint. And the Chase U stuff, that was great. I love the forming of Fatal Influence. The only thing that was kind of shaky was like this group seems like dysfunctional. And it's like, what are they doing? Like, are they going to? I know they're going to break them up. They kind of just pretty much got together, but it was all a ploy in their plan. And I was so excited for Jacey Jayne in that moment because it's like there's clips, there's shorts, there's reels on our Instagram page about me talking about how much I love Jacey Jayne, and I'm really glad she got her just due. And congratulations to her. And allegedly Stephanie Vicaire and Jordan Grace are getting called up, but no matter what, I'm happy to see Jacey Jayne in a prominent role. And listen, I'm a big fan of her, and I'm a big fan of Fatal Influence as well. And
so before we leave NXT, as a belt mark, it's funny. I mean, do we expect Lexis King to be the next NXT North American champion?
We'll see.
I mean, it is just a little funny. I mean, so shout out to Ethan Page. 1 year ago, he debuts in NXT and quickly wins the NXT championship. Year later, he's the NXT North American champion. But a couple months prior, Shawn Spears wins his first major championship, NXT North American championship, loses it to formerly Ricky Starks, now Ricky Saints. And then now Ethan Page, it is that like, hey, you came from AEW? Yo, we got it. We got this. We got something for you.
They're just out here rubbing it in. But that's it for pretty much what I watched. And I think Leah's all in this shit. I really do, because every day is, where's WrestleMania going to be today? Because like she's like obsessed, like not obsessed, but like she's like into like where like the city they're in. So every time a show comes on, she's asking me, and like she's all in on the girls. Like she'll watch the guys, but she don't really care. But she's all about the girls.
So she got a good Tampa weekend.
Yeah, and she'll always like ask who's going to win or whatever, and she's asking for the names and stuff like that. So I think she's kind of somewhat off on this. No pun intended. All right, so is that everything that you watched while you were gone? All right, so this week, guys, we're here to talk about the top 10 Money in the Bank pay-per-view matches, not the WrestleMania ladder matches, the pay-per-view. So as you guys know, we're going to alternate lists our 10 through 1, and then at the end give honorable mention. With my list, this is hard because a lot of the time the ladder matches, they kind of just blend together because they're still ladder matches. But I think on my list, the ones that I have, the few that I have, I think they stand out from the others. And then we've had a lot of great single and multi-person matches in the Money in the Bank pay-per-views history. And at this point, it's basically you can call it the Big Five now, because Money in the Bank has been around since 2010. So it's their fifth annual pay-per-view they have running.
Yeah, and just like Triple H said with the announcement of it being now in New Orleans for next year, he did say it is one of our big shows.
Oh, thank you for bringing that up. First of all, so that news broke that WWE was pulling out from
kind of unprecedented. I don't know of any of it at the time. And didn't Dwayne come and announce it?
He did.
That motherfucker is so worthless.
It did.
He's really right.
Turning to Hogan out here. But so
maybe Triple H canceled it just because of him.
So this is what. So for example, like they make the announcement about WrestleMania is not going to be in New Orleans. Everybody's in an uproar. I'm like, shut up! You're going to go no matter where the hell it is anyway. And then it comes out that the report is that it's going to be.
That's not true. Again. It's very different affordability in depending on the cities.
Yeah. So people were saying that first they thought it was going to be in Saudi Arabia. Then they thought it was London, and now like the kind of concrete thing everybody's saying universally is Vegas, because TKO wants that relationship. They want that relationship with Vegas. So and then they send Triple H, who looked sad as hell, to make that damn announcement that WrestleMania was going to move. I just felt bad for him because he looked terrible, like he didn't want to do this. But he's not in charge. It's this company up for this money grab. Now, nothing's official yet, but everybody was such an uproar. I was just like pissed. Like Triple H looked legit depressed that he had to be the poster child for that. So TK, like, I understand it's business, but goddamn, y'all just threw Triple H out there to the wolves to speak for you guys. But anyway, so do you want to go first? What's your number 10?
I'll go to 10 because per normal, my list kind of was thrown together kind of, rambunctiously. And I think number 10 is a fire match. Maybe deserves to be up higher on the list, but it's for the Intercontinental Championship from Money in the Bank 2024. Sami Zayn defending and retaining against Braun Breaker.
Oh, good match. That didn't even cross my mind. Didn't cross my mind. So my number 10 is going to be. Oh, yep, that's the right one. Daniel Bryan and CM Punk for the WWE Championship at Money in the Bank 12, where AJ Lee is a special referee. Now, when I rewatched this, I remember why I always said nobody missed anything really in WWE around this time, because I remember watching this and watching like the video package for this match. I hated it even more. I love AJ Lee, but it was just a lot of nonsense going on. And in this match, I kind of want to. I understand the storyline, but it seemed like she was in the way a lot of the match. Now there's a point in this match where she gets knocked out, and that's when the match like really picks up. And even but when she does come back towards the match continues to be really good as well. But I just find like the AJ Lee factor in this match kind of dumbed it down a bit, especially in the early stages of the match. And like I said, I personally was not a fan of this entire like feud. Well, not feud, but this entire like AJ with Punk and Bryan's situation. Now, it brought us some great moments between AJ and Bryan, but the Punk stuff with them together, not the biggest fan of. But my number 10 is CM Punk and Daniel Bryan at Money in the Bank 12.
Well, we're kind of right on the same page. This I have right over my number 9 spot. Again, like you said, the fanfare of everything they did with AJ Lee and, that era of matches not really living up. This is kind of like the beginning of, I know we're like a year and a half away from like the Yes movement, but this match, and like Punk said in the promo, like CM Punk and Daniel Bryan main eventing, that should be good enough. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, why is he trying to put this guy? Like I could not, like, I don't know. Bryan didn't resonate with me. I couldn't become a fan of him. I don't know what it was, but I'm like, I was like, Punk was really doing a job of trying to sell to me, at least, like, this guy's my equal, this and that. It should be that good of a match. I just wanted Punk to go in this match, and I wanted him to retain. It's one of few. How many? I don't even know how many one-on-one matches they ended up having in WWE. I don't think a plethora of them, but I think it's like the only pay-per-view one.
No, they had a match the prior month at Over the Limit.
Got it. Okay. Well, so just due to the scarcity of it and, something that I don't believe we even got to in AEW and, just the history and the similarities these guys had, it had to make my list.
All right, so that's your number 9. So I'll jump to my number 9. My number 9, I was in attendance for, and I still don't understand how this was on the pre-show. So my number 9 is the Shield versus the Usos for Money in the Bank pre-show in 2013. This was basically it was the opening match as a pre-show, but this match started off the show because this was the best match on the show. Period. It really was. Can't say enough about it. I think you may be able to still watch this on WWE's YouTube channel, but this match definitely a banger. The Usos also had a banger the following year to open the show with the Wyatt family, which almost made my list but didn't. I replaced it with this match, but definitely a match I think everybody should tune in to see. Young Roman Reigns against Seth Rollins against the Usos early on in the Shield run. Definitely an excellent match and great for me to be in attendance for.
And this one was, with Jay's rise over the past couple months, this did pop up on a couple different YouTube channels. So I did rewatch this recently. I do favor it. It's just a little higher on my list.
All right. I like that.
For my number 8, I went with not that we're going to see a lot of these. I don't know if you have any of these on your list, but I went with, and this is definitely fandom and a little bit of bias. I went with the 2021 men's Money in the Bank ladder match.
All right. I like it a little more than you do.
Reason being, obviously the pop. I was thrilled for Big E to win. It was star-studded spots. I mean, again, just look at that cast. I mean, there's a lot of like people you would expect in a ladder match, is people you would expect to be violent and hard hitting. And really this year, man, they all deserved it. They all needed it. Obviously, like John Morrison, a little bit past, we weren't really anticipating him to win it, but we knew he would give us a spot. We couldn't really see Ricochet doing it. But aside from that, all of these other guys were right at that level for a world title. And I remember exactly where I was in my old apartment, like when Big E brought that briefcase down. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I like it I like it more than you do. So my number 8 is Bloodline Civil War.
Oh man, this
Roman
should
and
be
Solo against the Usos. So, as we all know, with the Bloodline, the biggest story in wrestling over the past 4.5 years, and it kind of all came to a head here, like going back to Saudi Arabia when the Usos caused Roman and Solo the tag titles, and then it all comes ahead to this, and then we actually get Roman getting pinned, which was the first time Roman was pinned in years by Jay. Great moment, great storytelling. Can't say enough more about this match. It was so much the beginning of the end for the Bloodline, as we knew it. But definitely love this match. Excellent match. Everybody take the time out to go watch this match. Storytelling at its finest, as always with the Bloodline. So that's my number 8, Bloodline Civil War, Roman and Solo against the Usos.
So I'll keep it short and sweet. My number 7 is that 2013 kickoff tag team championship match, the Usos versus the Shield.
All right. Anything else to say about it?
No, nothing. Again, definitely, maybe more than any other match on this list. That's something anyone should go rewatch. It's 12 years ago.
All right. So my number 7 is one of my favorite matches and we'll talk about this person on this list in sometime maybe this year. But my number 7 is going to be Randy Orton and Christian for Money in the Bank 11. Christian's, God, I love him so. Christian is awesome.
I can't believe this isn't higher on your list.
It was, but I moved it a little bit for a few things. But This match was awesome. This entire feud was awesome. Christian gave Randy Orton the best matches of his career, except one. And if we ever do a Randy Orton list, you'll see what that one is. If you've listened to for years, you'll know what that number 1 is. But Christian got the best matches out of Randy Orton's entire career. Christian, this whole one more match storyline and the lengths that he took to get this match were great. Getting the lawyers to put in the contract if Orton gets disqualified, he'll lose the title, and them kind of Christian like on purpose kind of poking at Randy Orton and getting the snap, and that's how he wins. Perfect. And the fact I talked about this, this is actually in the archives, guys. If anybody wants to go back listen to this, the fact that Christian legit spit in Randy Orton's mouth accurately is fantastic, and that put him over the top. So my number 7 is Randy Orton and Christian.
I can't make it up, but for the graphic, you should have put a 7 because it's right in my 7th spot.
Really? Perfect.
In my 7th spot. Again, this year, seeing Christian win the big one finally and coming out nonstop. And it was cool because the storyline of the one more match started off as a babyface thing and led into a heel thing, which, again, is another great testament to Christian's heel work.
Yeah, Christian was awesome in this era. He got the best out of Randy Orton for sure. So my number 6 is going to be. Let's see here. My number 6 is Roman Reigns and Edge from Money in the Bank 21. So Edge's best. I'll say his second best match while he's on this run. This is before he was Cope, by the way, guys. This is his second best match in his WWE return run.
This is before cutting the hair.
This is his second best match during this return for Edge.
When you say the first one is the Orton?
No, I think the best one was the Hell in a Cell with Rollins.
Okay.
I think that's his best one. But this match was awesome. I thought the whole bloodline stuff, and then you had Seth Rollins, who was still obsessed with Edge at the time, getting involved. I thought it was fantastic. I thought the WrestleMania match with Bryan involved.
It's funny in hindsight, like those times that Rollins was helping Roman without helping Roman, and like with all that hate he has for him now, and obviously the latter part of Reigns' run as Universal Champion.
Yeah, it really did because it helped. He's helping Roman, but it has nothing to do with Roman, and that's like good storytelling. That's going to end up kind of helping their storyline probably when it finally culminates next year at WrestleMania, probably. But this match was awesome. I think it's Edge's second best match during this WWE run that he had, and that's my number 6, Edge and Roman Reigns from 21 Money in the Bank.
So for the second time, and I'm anticipating it'll happen at least 3 times, but we're right on the same spot. We're the same. Yeah, we're number 6, right? Yeah,
yep.
6. So 6 is Edge and Reigns. The other reason why I put this, to me, why I'm saying so high on the list is just that it was so early in that Universal title reign where it was like, we didn't know it was going to run for well over 1,000 days. It was like, is Edge going to win the world title? Is he going to win the championship he never won? And then me being a belt mark, I'm just picturing that blue strap Universal or an Edge. We're like, man, pretty cool. Like he'll be one of the few people that won the big gold and this. Like cool to have a vet do this. And even if someone like Edge were to beat Roman, and it's not a bad loss because it's a former 11-time world champion. But definitely an exciting match, a brutal match, a violent match. Had a whole bunch of stuff going on inside and outside the ring. But number 6, Roman versus Edge for me.
All right. So my number 5 is going to be the 2024 Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. As always, Chelsea stole the show from 100%. Chelsea stole the show as always, as she always does. Fantastic. And this is where Tiffany won, and Tiffany got her moment to be Miss Money in the Bank. Awesome match. I think this is the best women's Money in the Bank ladder match so far, personally. So that's my number 5, the 2024 women's Money in the Bank ladder match.
Perfect. I feel like this is. I feel like I was calling that 6, but I feel like I'm at 5 now because I started.
We are at 5.
So, yeah, my 5 is Bloodline Civil War. Again, just that feel good moment of I'm going to focus right off just the ending. Roman, again, I remember vividly where I was when I was watching it, and just for, I mean, look how over Jay is now, but he was, this is the early, the beginning of that rise, especially him as a face, not just him doing singles thing, but that splash and Jimmy looking there in surprise in the corner and Jay pinning Roman nuts. Solo getting a main event match, and obviously this guy can't get he can't get on a Mania card, but he was a force then.
All right, so my number 4 is from Money in the Bank 21. Charlotte and Rhea for the Raw Women's Championship. A forgotten match. I was so high on this match. I don't think this won match of the year on the Maddies that year. I don't think so. I know this was my number 1 for sure. But this match was awesome. This is also the first pay-per-view back with fans post WrestleMania, other than WrestleMania that year. So the crowd was hot for this. And Charlotte and Rhea, excellent chemistry. And as always, it gets kind of forgotten, this match, because the WrestleMania match was so good, both of them. But this was definitely high up for me. So my number 4 is Charlotte and Rhea for the women's title at 21 Money in the Bank.
So I almost put that on my list, but it was one of those things, just like you said, it's kind of forgotten about. So I was like, yeah, man. I started watching it. I was like, you know what? There's nothing about I remember the Mania so much more. And I was like, all right, I just can't. Speaking of a match, you remember Mania, but I remember Mania not living up to, I felt this was much better, was the Shinsuke versus AJ Styles last man standing match.
Oh, I forgot all about that.
So that crept in. that took this spot.
Oh, I don't even have a graphic for that. That was the best match I think they had during that whole feud. I don't even have a graphic for that. I didn't think you would pull that one out. So my number
Very sneaky sometimes.
So my number 3,
you didn't have a Zayn and Braun Breaker graphic either.
So my number 3 you talked about earlier, and this is the Money in the Bank 21 ladder match. I was high on this match. This match was when I text you and prep to pick your 5 best matches. I was very upset nobody picked this because this was going to be my match of the year, period. Because this match was awesome. Kevin Owens almost dying. Was great.
If there's a ladder around, he's almost dying.
Kevin Owens almost died. Is great. And of course, the moment of Big E winning the match, finally getting his just due, winning the Money in the Bank briefcase. I thought it was really good. I think this is the best Money in the Bank ladder match other than the first one. That's just my opinion. But I highly recommend everybody check this one out, the Money in the Bank 21 men's ladder match.
So for my number 3, you were sitting there next to me when this one transpired. Obviously, there was a good ladder match on earlier that night, but for certain reasons why I found it good, my guy won. I'm going with Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns for the WWE Championship 2015?
16.
I knew it was Roman. I literally have 16 next to it. Okay. Again, beginning of the night, Roman Reigns is WWE champion. He comes in, he's defending it against his brother in the Shield. He loses it to his brother in the Shield, and for the first time in a while, we have the briefcase being cashed in the same night. Dean Ambrose comes out, cashes in on Seth, wins, leaves with the world title, and we saw all 3 members of the Shield have as the WWE champion in that night. Iconic, something we'll never see again, not in our lifetime.
Yeah, so I actually did have a graphic for that, but I took it off my list because I was debating does the Usos and Shield count since it was the pre-show. But I enjoyed that match.
You knew I was going to put it on there, so you should have kept it.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
You were too busy focusing.
I do have it saved to my. I do have it on my computer. It's just not on my thread right here on StreamYard. But I did have that. So my number 2 match is going to be Kevin Owens and John Cena for Money in the Bank 15. So
we're gonna go 4 in the same order.
I remember when Kevin Owens debuted, and we're going to do a John Cena list at the end of the year. So I remember when Owens debuted on Raw, it was awesome. And then when he beat him at Chamber, I couldn't believe it. Like I was shocked. I legit was like, huh, really? And this was not as good as the first match, but this match was good. And I do think it deserves the spot that it's in. Owens just completely mocking Cena through this entire match. Great, doing a 5-knuckle shuffle, doing all Cena's moves. I thought it was fantastic. It'll be I wouldn't say it's a downfall of Kevin Owens because he would lose this feud, but recover a few months later by becoming an IC champion. But definitely a great debut and a good start for WWE career for Kevin Owens. So that's my number 2. John Cena and Kevin Owens for Money in the Bank 15.
The other thing, obviously, we were all definitely at this time in 2015 all watching the product pretty religiously. But when Kevin Owens got called up after a short stint in NXT, and you see in the graphic he was still NXT champion, and what he was doing, it was must see. I mean, if he was on the screen, I didn't care. I don't know if it was this. I think it was the Elimination Chamber match. I remember I was in a McDonald's drive-thru, it playing on my phone while I was at the beach, and I remember watching it, and then I got back to the beach and continued watching the show. Everything of it was must-have. That KO shirt, I believe, is my second adult-sized WWE shirt I bought. I believe it was first I'm a Paul Heyman guy, and then it was that shirt, which has seen the dryer too much, or this is why I'm not drinking beer right now. But yeah, phenomenal match. Definitely deserves this rank as number 2. And yeah. So then here we go. Fourth time's the charm.
All right. So I'm just going to just pull it up on the screen right now. I don't think we don't even have to really say anything at this point. Number 1, John Cena, CM Punk for the WWE Championship for Money in the Bank 11. Rewatching this, It's a period piece. It's a period piece.
Hits every time.
I don't want. I'm not going to. That's not what I was going to say. From an in-ring perspective, it's not as great as everybody puts it out to be, but it's a period piece. You had to be there to enjoy it for what it is.
I've played this match for casual fans, and they say that match is great.
No, I'm not saying that. I just don't think it's as good from an in-ring perspective as we think it is. Now, like I said, different times. It's like if you are around, you understand. I think if you showed this to some new wrestling fan, like they might just sit there and be a mark and be like, "Oh, well, this is supposed to," they never fucking seen it. But this, like, for the time and the stake that was with this, Punk leaving, the pipe bomb, we had never seen anything like that before. Everything surrounding it. Punk told him he's going to take the belt and go to Ring of Honor and defend it there and stuff like that. And
Lawler's call. When he's sitting there, the only thing that could compare is if the Chicago Bears were in the Super Bowl and the Super Bowl was here in Chicago.
Yes. That's the only thing. The crowd was hot. The inclusion of Vince, like being disgusted, Vince trying to screw Punk out of the title, like he did Brett. Fantastic. You can't say enough about this match. I'll let you go ahead.
I mean, it's arguably this match and what folded after it is why a lot of people are wrestling fans today.
And brought back.
And this brought people back. I mean, I started watching wrestling again 4 or 5 months before this, and it was the old timers are still here. The Rock's here. He's hosting. Steve Austin's making cameos. Undertaker versus Triple H. Yo, it's still all my guys. They disappear. Punk's number one contender a couple months later. I'm like, I kind of like this guy. This guy talks that ish, and he's backing it up. And in this match, and everything that came with it, and everything that came after it, just makes me kind of want to go get one of my replica belts and put it in the kitchen fridge.
Did you do that, or was it Prep who did that?
Probably Prep. He has the spinner, not me.
Okay, I couldn't remember. All right, so that's our list. You got any honorable mention?
No, none I can think of.
All right, so for me, honorable mention, I did have the 2011 World Heavyweight Championship Money in the Bank ladder match. That's the match that Brian won. I have John Cena and AJ from 16. I got Seth and Ambrose in the ladder match from 15. The women's Money in the Bank from Money in the Bank 2023. And the 2013 World Heavyweight Championship ladder match that Sandow won. Oh, and also the 2020 Money in the Bank ladder matches that were at Titan Towers.
You know what? That I can see that as an honorable mention.
It was fun. I'll put it that. It's not really a match
fun.
or whatever. It's fun, like them going to Vince's office.
You're not putting Braun and Bray?
Oh, absolutely not. Actually, it wasn't even for the Universal title. It was him versus Mr. Rogers Bray. But yeah, I definitely did enjoy watching that, but it's not much of, it's not really a match. I don't hate the cinematic stuff, but I'm going to give more just due to the matches. So also, I forgot to ask you earlier because I haven't heard your thoughts on this. Any thoughts on Seth Rollins and his group division?
I'm here for it. I love seeing my boy Prep on TV. He can't make it on the show, but he's on Raw and Blacksmith 3s. I forgot he doubled up in 2018, and he finally broke him out there on Raw. He's moving good. I'm a fan of everyone in the group, so I'm excited. Hopefully it's not another rendition of Rollins with the Authors of Pain.
I was wondering if you actually remembered that, but we're not going to get that. I don't see a pandemic coming around in a bunch of other releases. And one thing I know that we talked about a couple months ago when the TNA NXT partnership happened, we talked about kind of legitimizing this, making it seem like anything can happen. So we finally get Trick Williams winning gold. He defeated Joe Hendry to become the TNA champion, and they shoot to the team president wearing this damn hat that looks like he got it made at the mall. Like you can't wear a goddamn TNA logo hat, really? Like for real? Like, come on, we get that.
I also never saw that guy in my life. Not that I'm a big TNA fan, but like they show. I mean, we obviously know who Scott D'Amore is. There's people that you see in the wrestling world and you know who they are. This guy, I was like, who the?
Well, Scott D'Amore is gone.
Yeah, obviously I'm aware of that, but it should have been like Santino or someone like, I don't know. I mean, is that guy ever featured on the TNA product?
Like, I don't think so. I never seen him.
So it's funny. He's never on TNA, but he got featured on NXT.
Yeah, he did not look happy. Everybody was like, "Oh my god, the WWE pulled a fast one." No, it's called kayfabe. But that hat, I was like, "You can't wear it. You don't have a TNA logo hat, like for real." But
yeah,
I was shocked. I didn't see it coming. Mike said
in a weird way. I think this is exactly where you're going, but Mike Santana being the number one contender. I mean, I don't necessarily want to see. Bless you. I don't want to see Trick get hot shot and the title come right off him. But in a way, I could kind of see it like, okay, Joe Hendry can lose to a guy in WWE, but nobody in TNA can beat him. So we're going to take the belt off him. He's going to lose it to someone in WWE, and then that guy's going to drop it to Mike Santana. That's my early prediction on how this plays out. But the one thing TNA to legitimize this and make it make sense and make it better than it was with AEW, someone from TNA has to win the NXT belt.
Yeah, they do. They do, because he is going to defend the title against Santana, though. I was shocked, and I was like, okay, well, this legitimizes it, and this is their world title. This isn't one of their secondary titles. This is actually their world title, which I was actually shocked about. Him and Santana had an interaction on NXT. Trick tried to take a cheap shot at him, but we'll see where that actually goes. And the other thing that's going on is we all know the Judgment Day is always about to implode, but as always, Dom's the man. I really just want Roxanne to not bring them Tyson nuggets anywhere near Dom, because don't come to me with that. That was god awful. But Dom's in a hard place again. So Finn's like instigating situations. He's trying to he brings Roxanne in, and it's like, good Lord, like you really can't, like Roxanne, like really. And then Liv comes back, and he's just in a tough spot, and he's just saying this to himself.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, he's gonna bomb. But I am enjoying this because we always know, like,
It's always entertaining for sure.
Actually really interested to always watch, because Finn's trying to do something, Liv's trying to do something. You got Liv and Dom's here, and at this point, Dom is like the biggest baby face in the other than Jey Uso and Cody in the company at this point. So you kind of got to think this is leading to a Dom and possibly Liv face turn, because Liv's going to be a baby face too.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, the group either finally implodes after 4 years, or I don't know. I originally thought Finn was going to get bounced out, but I'm not sure how this is really going to shake out. I mean, I could see the whole unit becoming babyface, but I mean, JD was supposed to be babyface when he returned after that wild injury. Everyone's gonna, they cheer Carlito no matter what, even though he's the bump guy.
He's a national treasure, though. He really is.
Yes, he is.
His one-liners are perfect. I really enjoy him. Like when he asked Raquel out, I'll have my wallet, you could pay. Whatever he said, perfect.
So good.
Perfect. But yeah, I'm interested to see. Like I said, Dom is like a top baby face in the company right now. And Liv, she just came back from filming that movie. And even though she's a heel, she still gets cheered. People still love Liv. So I'm interested to see actually where that actually goes. You got anything else for me?
One other thing you brought up, and we're a couple months away, but there's the early hot rumor that Randy Orton will be challenging, who I really wanted him to challenge for WrestleMania. I wanted him to answer the open challenge, would be former NWA World Champion Nick Aldis.
Yeah, so I forgot I did mention that. So I remember you were, like you just said, you were all in on that, and I told you, like, yeah, well, if they kind of tease more tension, I'd have been right there with you. But I'm interested in that. I really am, because we talked about this with Adam Pearce.
Than Orton.
The thing is, like, he's not that old. No. He's been around forever. I don't think he's 40 yet.
No, I think he's 37 and Orton's 42. I think was what I saw on the graphic.
Yeah, that's wild. But he's been around forever. So like, it's like, and like we talked about this like the time when Adam Pearce was supposed to challenge Roman for the Universal title. It didn't happen, but like they were playing up that Adam Pearce was the former NWA World's Champion, and for that weekend period and stuff like that. But it's just like we can
38 and 45.
Yeah, I was saying he's not that old. He's only a few years older than us, which is great. He's been here forever.
Yeah.
So we met him at All In. He was what was that 7 years? He's 31. That's crazy.
Younger than we are now.
That's wild. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's always said he's not retired. He said he plans on having more matches one way or another. So I'd love to see it.
I'm all in because with Orton keep getting in trouble and Orton keep throwing out RKOs, you can actually build something toward it. So
previewing Mania, I said it. I mean, it's one of those things that is like I feel like people would bring up. Oh, you don't know who Nick is? Oh, yeah, that's who Cody beat to become NWA World Champion. Blah blah blah. Well, Nick is a 2-time NWA champion. Guess who he beat to win it a second time? Cody, the guy who was just at WWE champion for 1 year. I mean, that's a stat that they're definitely going to have to put out there.
Yeah, definitely for sure. So I'm all in it. I'm 100% interested in actually seeing that actually happen. So, you got anything else for me?
That's it.
All right, guys. So as always, subscribe to the podcast, turn on your post notifications, like and comment, and head over to Ringside Collectibles. Use code MMAS, save 10% off your order, and make sure to wish my bestie a happy 7 more days left in his cleanse. He's almost home. All right, so guys, I'm Elo Lloyd. That's X2 Flyer Trimbicki. We'll see you guys soon.
Got him now, put him down right now, hit him with the palm handle. Tuning up the band, y'all don't understand. Fist of Superman, it's a SummerSlam. Here we go again. Fans marking man, I hate my balls. Shut the Vince McMahon, it ain't safe to land off the cell. Fans love it, ain't hard to tell. Talking madness, awesome. Well, what I'm cooking, man, y'all off the smell.